It's been almost 12 years ago now that the Parkinson's was first diagnosed.
Our whole life just really changed for the worse, and for a while it was just very low. I don't know how else to put it.
I guess I could say, without being melodramatic, it has been an absolute hell. Just coming to terms with what was happening to me, and that I couldn't stop it, that no one could stop it, and that all we could do was every 6 months go back to the clinic and tweak medicine, take a little of this away, add a little more of this, try a new drug.
It all seems like a really bad nightmare now.
I guess my biggest fear when I couldn't sleep at night was that I was going to go to sleep and choke to death. For people who have never been affected by something like Parkinson's, it's kind of hard to explain. But if you can imagine getting up in the morning and not knowing whether you could actually brush your own teeth or shave or put your clothes on or eat without some assistance, that's what it was like. I would be awake 4 out of 5 nights all night. Sometimes could read, sometimes not, just maybe sit on the front porch and look at the beautiful hillside and think, I'm going to be dead soon. We got to the point about a year ago where the medicine was doing more harm than good. And I thought to myself, the more I learned about the operation, I want to lead a normal life now. So the next thing I knew, Dr. Rizai and a couple of the other surgeons in the team came in, and he said, why are you here? And I said, because I don't understand why this surgery has to wait and be prolonged until there is no quality of life. He said, well, we can restore some, but basically what we do is just give you the best that you physically are from then on. And I said, so why would one wait? And he smiled and he said, I can give you your life back. And it did.
The surgery takes anywhere from 4 to 10 hours, and the patients are usually awake during brain pacemaker surgery because we have to find the abnormal functioning area deep in the brain, and for that part we use specialized surgical computers and navigation devices, as well as tiny recording devices that allow you to listen and locate the abnormal electrical region in the brain. Once we find that area, then we implant these deep brain stimulation electrodes, so that if you're off by 1 millimeter, you're in the wrong place. The patient may not get good benefits or may have side effects, so this is an extremely precise surgery.
You come back later, and the second surgery is to attach the probes to wires that then run down the back of the neck and into 2 battery packs here that adjust and govern the amount of current or electricity that flows from the battery into the brain. After was instantaneous. Just in the amount of time that it took her to program me and then say, get up and walk, I got up and walked.
When they actually programmed it, turned it on, and he was kind of skipping and jumping down the halls of the Cleveland Clinic there, It was unbelievable.
And all of those things had trouble doing before, I could now do again, just as though it had never happened and it had never been part of my body. When I came home after being wired, for lack of a better term, the first time, I met my son on the far side of the house in the driveway, and he had come home from Columbus, where he works, and said, how do you feel? And I said, I'll race you to the barn. And I took off, and he's standing there at the car. And I got to the barn and turned around and said, well, you coming or not? And he said, I can't believe you. The time he had seen me the week before, and I couldn't walk. It's just amazing that the amount of things that I'm now doing with them, including smiling. Parkinson's affects all of the muscles of the whole, on one side or the other particularly. But the right side of my face was affected such that I really didn't smile. It's called the Parkinson's mask. And I just looked like I was depressed or paralyzed or something, and that's gone. Savoring the little things in this life is what most of us as people do not do. We take them for granted. We think about the big things in our lives as being so important, graduating and becoming grandparents or becoming parents and those kinds of things, taking vacations abroad, what we can accumulate in terms of possessions. Or we take for granted being able to walk across the backyard and bend over and pick a flower. We take for granted being able to hold another person, being able to make love to your wife. All of those things that are just a part of what life really is, we've taken for granted. Well, not anymore. not anymore. I just turned off the equipment that was installed, which means now that my body is functioning without it. The only thing that we'll probably notice is that there will be some help in the symptomology just because I'm still taking a relatively large dose of medicine. I'm feeling the trembling come back
And your speech is.
in my leg, and I'm having a hard time with my speech. A little tremor coming back here and there.
Yeah.
Coming. And I'm okay because I know why we're doing this and it's important. But I probably won't shut myself off again real soon. Yeah, not real comfortable actually. But it's okay. I mean, I know I have the cure in my pocket. There we go.
It beeped.
Okay, we're on.
Do you feel it that quickly?
I feel the current going back.
Yeah. You see. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How quickly he smiled again.